Hello and welcome to web-based training for Task Coach, software designed to help you stay on track with your tasks. You can download Task Coach software at www.sourceforge.com. For this web-based training, I'm going to be focusing on adding a new task. So right now you are looking at the opening screen of Task Coach, and to begin entering a new task, we want to click on New and then select New Task. The new task window pops up, and you can see all of the various tabs that are associated with entering a new task. We're going to walk through each of these tasks by entering a very simple example. So for today, we'll use the example of supply ordering. And we will just make the description ordering supplies. You can make the description as long as you need to accurately describe the task at hand. And we want to assign the task a priority level. Next, we want to move to the Dates tab. The Dates tab is where you can input your planned start dates, your due dates, the actual start dates, and the actual completion dates. You can also set reminders and recurrences. This is very similar to Microsoft Outlook in this respect. So if we want to just assign dates here, we'll say our planned start date will be the 5th of March, due the 9th. We're actually going to start on the 6th. I won't fill out the actual completion date yet because I haven't yet completed the task. And I can set myself a reminder to remind me the day before I need to start actually working on the task. We'll go ahead and go with March 5th, for our example. If I want to set a recurrence, say I want to order these supplies every 2 weeks, I'm going to want to go ahead and select that option here, weekly. And every 2 weeks makes it a bi-weekly occurrence. So next we want to take a look at the Prerequisite tab. The Prerequisite tab is where you can add any tasks that need to be completed in advance of you being able to complete the primary task that you're entering. So in the case of supply ordering, doing an inventory check might be a good example of a prerequisite task. So I've gone ahead and entered the inventory check already as an additional task that needs to be done. And when I'm on the Prerequisite tab, you see that there's a little box here next to inventory check. By checking this box, I'll be making it a prerequisite of actually putting in the supply order. So you can see now underneath the prerequisite column, inventory check shows up next to supply ordering. And conversely, in the dependencies column, ordering the supplies is dependent upon the inventory check. Next, we come to the Progress tab, and this is where we can show our progress on a task by showing percentage of completion of the task. So we would slide this indicator to show what percentage complete we are with a particular task. For my example, I haven't yet begun, so I would still be at 0. In the Categories column, or tab rather, we can assign particular tasks in Task Coach to certain categories. So create a task category. We want to go to the Category pane and select Create New Category. We'll title this category Administrative. And we could also add notes, attachments, or appearances as relevant to a particular category. And then back in our task pane, I want to go ahead and check the box next to Administrative, and that will categorize supply ordering as an administrative task. We move on quickly. We want to look at the Budget tab. This is where you would budget how much time you have for a task, how much time you've spent, how much time you have left, and what your hourly fee for the time you've spent, how much you've earned so far, either of your fixed fee or your hourly fee, depending on how you are compensated, if it's at an hourly basis or a fixed fee basis for completion of a task. And this tab is tied very closely to the Effort tab. And the Effort tab is interesting. What I want to show you here with the Effort tab is that when you begin work on a particular task, you want to select the task and you want to click on this clock icon. It'll start tracking effort. You want to select the task that you want to track, and you'll see that right here it's starting to tally up the amount of time that you've spent working on a particular task. And when you step away from a task, or you take a break, or you complete a certain task, you can go ahead and click this icon to stop tracking, or resume tracking when you pick a task back up. So this effort function lets you know just how much time you have spent on a particular task. At the notes section, we can add notes to a particular task. In my example, I might want to add a note about supplies needed and detail what those are. I might want to, in the attachment section, I might want to attach a supply order sheet or a photo of a particular supply that I need to order, whatever it may be. And finally, the appearance tab. This is where I can assign a color or a font style to a task, either for my own aesthetic purposes or so things stand out and I can stay on top and better organized of my tasks. So this brings us to the end of our web-based training on entering a new task in Task Coach. I encourage you to play with the software. There's so much more Task Coach can do, and it really is a helpful tool in getting you organized.